Hey guys, this is the mini crayfish. I had this out the other day and just absolutely crushed the smallmouth and the walleye. I think I ended up with 6 smallmouth, 2 walleye. And the reason why it's so productive is because it does a really good job of imitating and suggesting that it's a crayfish. And I love it because it doesn't take a long time to tie. And when you're fishing crayfish, you have to be willing to put it where the fish are, which is in the rocks. And if you look at it from a suggestive standpoint, it's got 2 claws. These are Zonker strips. It's got your antenna, which are rubber legs. And then we have mohair for the body, plus a little bit of laser dub that's used to create the taper. And then it's tied on a 90-degree jig hook, which just makes it awesome. Very easy to move, very easy to manipulate. So, without further ado, let's get tying. All right, we're going to start with a Gamakatsu jig 90-degree number 2. Tying with some Vivus 100 thread and with Lead Eyes red size medium. Gonna hit it with a little bit of Zap-A-Gap just to lock everything into place. And next, black rubber legs, size small. Just basically gonna double them over and wrap down the hook shank itself. Going to create an angle, basically going down the bend of the hook. Want those antennae sticking up. Next, grabbing a little laser dub. This is just basically to create a little bit of a taper, but also to create a bump. The reason why the bump is important is because when we put the Zonker strips on, we want that Zonker to be positioned at an angle out from the hook. So here are the Zonker strips, just basically going to measure 2x the length of the hook itself, and going to be careful to keep the tips of the Zonker strip whole with a lot of material. Going to measure, so I've got 2 claws, and now I'm going to strip the excess material off, and I'm going to hit it with a lighter, basically to create a real fine leather. Just takes all the junk off. Next, tie them in, exact same angle as the rubber legs. So you want them down and positioned upwards. And then the leather itself is going to help create additional taper in the fly, in the body itself. So just going to tie it in. Going to hit it with a little bit of zap. Locks everything. All right, next, mohair. If you haven't played with this stuff before, it's pretty cool. Basically, it's fuzz on a string, and I'm going to use it to create taper and also to simulate the walking legs of a crayfish. I'm just going to half hitch up front, and now I'm going to walk that mohair up after hitting it with a little zap. There, creating that taper. If you look at a crayfish body design, right, it's fairly straight across, or it's the same across the entire length. So I just walked up to the head, gonna tie it off, and then hit it with a Sharpie, hit it with a little bit of the Zap-A-Gap, lock everything into place. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back with a wire brush and basically to pick all the materials out. Now, that mohair does have a lot of materials. You want to get it out, get those fibers free, and then it also gives you the opportunity now to determine how fast you want that fly to sink. The more materials you trim off, the faster it's going to drop. So I typically take them off the bottom and the top itself, and then I create almost a V taper with those side mohairs. Trim the rubber legs off the back, basically equal with the claws, and that's it. So hope that helps you out.